You're right, kids, it's Ross Clark. And oh, we've got it all the Genesis 2 information that was revealed in the Extra Life 24-hour stream by Wildcard, where on the hour they revealed a lot of information about what to expect for the next map. And my word, are they completely reshaping ARK and adding a wealth of new stuff to the ARK universe, and I've got it all here for you kids, split up and time stamped, for you to skip through to the sections that you want to know more about. Before we begin, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, drop a like, share around, and let's get into it, guys. So Wildcard kicked off with their Xbox enhancement trailer, revealing all of the enhancements that we're going to see on the next generation console. With a pretty beastly roster at 4K output between 30 and 60 frames per second, as well as improved draw distances, epic quality settings, improved texture and infinite range distant shadows, as well as finally removing tether issues with split screen and non-dedicated hosting, 100 player dedicated hosting, and 7 times faster loading. What's more is they did add, these are settings that aren't even available for PC. And the question was asked, are we going to see this on PS5? And the answer was, yes, use the Xbox trailer as your baseline. And I'm sure we'll find out more information about that soon. Wildcard then went on to revealing their TLC 3 trailer, showcasing all the new cool abilities and improvements to many Tames in ARK, all of which I've covered in a previous video, but I will be going through them in more detail in a future video. So the trailer dropped, and my god, it was a good trailer. In fact, probably the best trailer I've ever seen from Wildcard. So the trailer kicked off in the ship that we end on in Genesis 1, being pulled out by what we all assumed was a Rockwell tentacle. And it's been confirmed. That was indeed a Rockwell tentacle, pulling us into a new complete world that, according to Wildcard, is the biggest official map they've ever released. They then went on to reveal a few of the locations, teasing a variety of cool new Tames, and some backstory and dialogue. That's right, Wildcard have gone on to employ voice actors for the main characters, with some exciting revelation that Rockwell will be voiced by none other than David Tennant, who you might know from the likes of Doctor Who or Bad Omens. It was certainly a very cool trailer, but that was only just the start of everything that we were about to find out for Genesis 2. So a few of the locations were teased at, confirming that this was going to be the biggest official map they'd ever created. So first they teased the Eden Zone, as they dubbed it, apparently where your ship lands. And they went on to say that this is the beginner area full of nice planes, with still the odd dangerous dino around, but very gorgeous, beautiful, with the most pristine base locations. And then they went on to talk about another area they dubbed the Tech Trench, which to me looks like the last remaining civilization, and certainly the opposite to extinction, that it looks inhabited. I'm really keen to see if they're actually going to perhaps build some AI into this one. Are there going to be actual people living here? Perhaps not. It does offer a more lively appeal than the ruins of extinction. They did go on to say this is a big space and the best for flatland building. And then they revealed the Genesis ship, which they explained is a huge, massive ship that you are able to explore and seems to be the hub to VR missions. So instead of missions being dotted around the map like the original Genesis, they are all going to be contained within the Genesis ship. So think like the augmented reality rooms in Star Trek. But they did really stress that this was massive. So you've got to wonder, how on earth is this going to be incorporated into the map and also being able to be built in? Are we going to be able to do that on a ship? Which also means, is this orbiting the planet that we can go back and forth to? That's all we know so far. And then they went on to reveal Rockwell's garden. A quite menacing area, which as they illustrated was very deadly, full of hostile creatures, but where you would find the Shadow Mane, which I'll get to in a moment. To me, it looks a bit toxic. It looks like we might be battling the elements as well, with perhaps a bit of aberration thrown in for good measure. And then we got to look at Rockwell's innards, a location which according to Wildcard has been completely taken over by Rockwell, and he literally is the structures, as you can see, with eyes in the walls and various fleshy looking textures, and my guess being the end location for some form of boss fight such as the one in this picture. And now moving on to the Tames. First up there is the Noglin, and we know now it's a shoulder pet that can apparently hypnotise and control Tames. Its face does indeed rip open, and you can move him around with telepathy. So from what I'm gathering here, this shoulder tame has the ability to possess anything. I don't know. Can we possess other players and lead them back into their own base to turn their generators off? I guess we'll have to wait and see on that. And is it literally going to take your head off, despite looking like a cute and huggable creature on first look? And then we were introduced to the Shadow Mane, the very colourful, vibrant, lion-looking tame with female and male variant abilities. So the female can turn invisible, not unlike a rock drake, and the male has a war cry to buff all the dinos around it. So think like the Uti. They can apparently dash through targets, so I'm guessing a bit like a scout, and they will do damage at the same time. And from what Wildcard was saying, they can dash through multiple people at the same time. And then we were introduced to the Astrodelphis, looking a little similar to the Astrocetus we know on Genesis 1. And to quote Wildcard, you'll need to equip it with a saddle to help it fly. But when it can fly, apparently it goes that fast that they were comparing it to a jet engine, being able to do flips, shoot lasers and shoot bombs. So this really is a supercharged Astrocetus. And then we learned about the at looking things, the Strider, they've dubbed it, that seemingly will be tameable, with different variations out there with their own different attachments. So from what I understand, these groundskeepers of ARK that apparently regenerate the resources have all got different attachments for various utilities. They didn't go on to say too much about this. However, they said the one in the photo was a harvesting attachment, and of course would be useful for harvesting. Noticing the beam, I would guess you'd be looking at something similar to a mining drill on a tame, but who knows. And then Wildcard teased new biome specific variants on some of the creatures you know and love, offering a range of brand new spanking colours if that's your thing. And yes, it was finally confirmed there will be a new tier of armour. However, it's not simply a new tier from what I gather. Called the Federation Tech Suit, Wildcard said this was a slight upgrade from the normal tech suit, offering the same abilities you're used to with tech. But what's interesting is that you will actually start on the map with this, and if you die you respawn with this, giving you the ability to fly anywhere you want right from the off, but perhaps won't have all of the tech abilities that it's capable of. So are we going to have a armor set that we can upgrade? However, the exoskeleton look looks pretty cool, and it's great to hear they've finally embraced a new suit variant. But that wasn't all that they revealed that your person can carry on them, because there was the tech pistol, a dubbed phaser that can shoot lasers but has 3 modes of damage, healing or stun. The latter being something you can use on multiple things at the same time and stackable with people, as well as the other modes being stackable also, and would of course use element for consumption. And then the pretty cool tech bow got revealed, again using element but being able to swap ammo types, not unlike the grenade launcher, giving you the ability to rotate through arrows that you know and love, like trank arrows, etc., but offering new type of arrows, including explosive arrows and element arrows, being able to be shot like a bullet projectile. And then we had the minigun, a deployable turret that you can carry. So obviously, whilst you're carrying it, it's not quite accurate and has somewhat of a wind up, but you can redeploy it anywhere you want on a tripod, where you'll find it a lot more stable. They did go on to say that this thing will eat bullets as well as overheat, but be brilliant against bosses, and simply very powerful. All of which, as well as all of the gear you know and love, can be hung up on your loadout mannequin. That's right, an actual store for your set of gear, with a mannequin wearing your gear and your hot slots all appearing at the top, so you know exactly what you're getting out of that loadout. With the devs going on to say that perhaps you could set up a row of these, all with different loadouts for your different styles of play, which is a very, very cool feature, and I'm keen to see how well this is going to work. And then, oh rejoice, the ammo box. A box you can fill with any form of turret ammo, all the way up to a mounted rocket launcher or even the minigun, and that your turrets would automatically pull from. So that means the grind of going around and putting an even amount of bullets in each turret is no longer a thing. They'll all just pull from this one box, which is going to be a massive change for PvP. And then revealed was the camera system, a security system / network of cameras that you can switch between, like CCTV, issue orders to the cameras, and even communicate through them, being able to speak through them. And Wildcard went on to suggest perhaps you can use them as a admin shop. I think from a PvE mindset, I see some pretty cool features coming from this. PvP, I'm not so sure. I'm hoping perhaps you can identify enemies around your base with these cameras, maybe shout at them and tell them to back off. And then, oh, another game changer, the egg incubator, that Wildcard said you can run unpowered as well. But the amazing thing about these is you can put any egg you choose in there to incubate. You can adjust the temperature, you can see how long eggs are going to take to incubate, as well as it improving the time eggs take to incubate. But you can also see what's going to hatch from that egg, what colours are going to be on that dino, what the stats are. So the days of old where you used to kill babies all the time trying to get the best stats, you don't need to do anymore. This will do it for you, making stat breeding a heck of a lot easier. And then the tech crop plot was revealed, which is the same size as the crop plots you know and love, but will grow things a lot faster, having a bigger storage inventory, therefore making your crops last a lot longer, being able to hold more water. It will still of course need fertilizer, but having its own individual solar panels means you can literally put these anywhere you want. So you can have X-plants in caves, in bases. You can now make a greenhouse inside your base, armoured, and not worried about the next griefer coming along because your crops are built in a glass house. And then there was the canoe, which after everything else seemed to stand out as a bizarre entry. And I was almost going to slate this, as it didn't seem to offer any advantages to a raft. However, Wildcard did mention you can pick this back up and put it in your inventory. So a boat you can take from river to river does sound pretty cool. That you can also fish from. Happy days. And lastly, the hover sail, which I've got to say looks pretty epic. Apparently being very fast. So expect something like the skiff that you can carry in your inventory, redeploy, and seats too, with a passenger being able to shoot and you being able to do tricks for boosts. And it looks very cool, and I'm looking forward to seeing how this can be used in PvP. And there we go guys, my word, that was a list and a half. I hope this helps everyone that didn't catch the stream, having it all in one place for you guys to reference. What do you think about all these additions guys? Drop a comment below, let me know. Are you excited for Gen 2? Are you excited for these new items? What do you think? My name's Ross Clark. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And as always, peace out.